Hello everyone, welcome back to Journey Woodwork. I am Bo. If you're a beginner woodworker like myself and you'd like to make a little extra money on the side, this is how you do it. I started about a year and a half ago making these wooden American flags. These are 37 by 19 and a half inches and they sell like crazy. So if you want to make some extra money, stick around. And for both of my red and blue stains, I use the premium water-based Minwax. I get both of these from Lowe's. This one's a barn red, code 287. And then for my blue, I actually get them to mix this code here. It's called True Blue, and it comes out very nice. That's what it looks like there. So again, both of these are the exact same. So for the stars, this is the stencil that I use. I found this off of Amazon. It's a whole pack of them. I don't use my Dremel directly onto this. I actually tape this to the side of the wood itself after it's painted blue. And then I trace them with a mechanical pencil. I did regular pencils there for a while, but the lead lines were so thick, they were kind of uneven a little bit. Mechanical pencil actually works a lot more detailed for the lines, so I was able to stay in the lines a little bit better with those. So when I carve out my stars, there's only really two bits that I use for the whole process. The first one, see if I can get it to focus here, is like a cone. It's very sharp on the edges, and that gets the edges of the stars really nice and crisp and tight. And then to cut out the center of the star, I use the circle bit. This takes out huge chunks all at one time, so it makes the job go a lot faster. So these two are the only ones that I use. And as far as these large cases of bits, you can find these at big box stores like Lowe's. And then also they have small little packs like these at even Walmart. So just take a look around and you could probably find a really good deal for a pack of these. So here I recommend just using a good rhythm on each line all the way across. It makes the whole process go a lot faster. So for the stripes, I use two separate 1x8s by 6s. And for the stars, I use a separate piece of wood, whether it's pine or poplar, and that will be 10.5 by 14 3/4. So here I am measuring out the stripes, which is 37 inches. And then I cut off the factory edge to take off all the ugly look off the edge there. So that's me right there doing the factory edge cut. You can make that cut before or after you measure the 37. It doesn't make a difference. I just like doing it all at one time and then flipping the board around there and then cutting off the factory edge. So now I'm getting it set up to clamp. But first I need to measure out the stripes to make sure that I've got the small stripes to parallel the long stripes. And I can measure this. It's usually like 22 1/4, but I like to just put them right there next to each other so I can make the cut more precise. And when I first started making these flags, I didn't have a joiner, so it's fine. It's not going to make a huge difference. I just like to use the joiner now because it's easier on the table saw to make cuts, but it's definitely not needed. So now I'm just cutting all the stripes. I won't go through all the cutting process because it's a lot of stripes to cut, but you'll see there, just cut a stripe, move it to the side, and continue cutting the board. Each board, you're going to get 4 stripes out of. So the long stripes, the small stripes, it doesn't matter. Each time you make a cut and you run through the table saw, you're going to get exactly 4 stripes. And we'll look into that right here. So you've got 8 long stripes and 8 small stripes. And I love this process because you're usually going to have one stripe that goes wrong. And you can see there that it went wrong. So I still have 7 total for the small stripes. So we're still good to go. In this process here, I'm just kind of reversing the grain. I'm just making sure the grain doesn't like line up with each other perfectly to kind of give it that random grain look. So now I'm going into the long ones and the process will go a little bit faster, speed up the video. But really, I'm just kind of looking to see which ones are bad on the long stripes because 2 of the 8 I need to set to the side for the back slats. So I'm just getting the best stripes for the long ones, and then the extra 2 that's left over, you'll see that. So here are the 2 that are left over that are either warped or have a bad knot in them or something I just don't feel comfortable putting on the flag. Those are the 37-inch ones that I had cut, and I measure 18.5 right down the middle and cut it right down the middle. And that's going to give me 4 slats. and that'll fit perfectly on the back of the flag. So now I'm just sanding each stripe. I don't do the sanding before I make the cuts because I really don't know which side of the stripe I'm going to use for the flag, and I don't want to do a lot of extra sanding if it's just going to be on the back of the flag when I burn it. So all my flags, I do chamfered edges. You don't have to do this. I didn't do it when I first started out. The flag still looks amazing without it. I just had a lot of requests to do it this way, so I just kind of make it part of my practice. I just add it as who I am when I make my flags. It's kind of to be expected, and if you don't want the chamfered edges, they usually just tell me they don't want them. But this is really, really neat if you do have a chance to do chamfered edges. It really makes the flag really clean and really a lot easier. But now I am burning the stripes. I'm not going to go through the whole process, just kind of give you a rhythm how I do it. I do it dark on the edges and kind of dark spots in the middle. And then, of course, here I'm going and painting all the stripes that I want. So here's just a quick preview of what the flag was going to look like. Then I double check to make sure the stars are facing the right way, and then I flip my stripes. I've got all my stripes pre-numbered 1 through 13 to make sure whenever I flip it over, it's in the correct order, and I also know what stripe to paint red. So now comes the clamping process. I have a 90-degree angle that I used before I made this table. It works just fine, but I just did way more flags, so I started using this 90-degree table that I built. You can see here I got a piece of scrap wood that's holding the flag against at the top, and then I have a piece of scrap wood on the bottom to keep from putting indentions on the flag. And then next I will go around and beat the high spots that I see with a rubber mallet, gets it nice and flat on the face part of it. And then I use a piece of scrap wood here with a weight on top that holds down the flag from bowing. Because if you don't have that weight on top and you really start putting a lot of pressure on these clamps, the flag is just going to explode up in the air. Trust me, I've been there. So now is the glue up and brad nailing process. The brad nails really are only to hold the flag together while the glue dries. In the long run, it's the glue that's holding everything together. So you'll see these are the 4 slats that I used whenever I cut those 37-inch stripes that I had left over. And it is a perfect setup with the 4 slats. And then I take the clamps off. It is already good to go. Flip it over, and you really get to see exactly what the flag's going to look like. So for the final finish, I like to use the polyacrylic clear gloss, water-based Minwax. You can get this pretty much anywhere. Walmart, Lowe's, Home Depot, Ace Hardware, they all carry it. I like to use the container because it's got a 3-inch gap, which will fit a 3-inch foam brush. So this applies very, very well. I recommend this. You can get a spray in a can. I don't like to use spray on big pieces like this because it starts to kind of spit, and I don't like the blotchiness. I like the nice flow of the brush to get that nice smooth look to it. And this looks wet right now, but it's completely dry. And this is after 4 coats. I like to do 4 coats, it just gives it a really nice clean look with no blotchiness. Definitely recommend to use this right here. But that's it, guys. Thanks so much for watching the video. As far as the price point goes, everyone sells their flags at different rates or different sizes. I won't get into that. That's going to be kind of up to you and your area, your market of how people are selling it around you. So what I do recommend is when you're first starting out and you're just trying to make some money, and that way you can put the money back into your businesses, which is what I did, and then continue to buy tools and that snowball effect, you're gonna sometimes have to take a pay cut as far as your work goes. I'm not saying stay in that mindset. Definitely, as you progress, I would charge full price for your items because people will take advantage of you. I promise, I've been there. So don't be afraid to take a pay cut, lower the price a little bit, get the product out the door, get your name out there, and then with your name being out there will come more customers, which will come more money and price points. But if you did like this video, please give it a like, subscribe, whatever all the cool kids do nowadays. I really appreciate it, and definitely more videos to come. Thanks, guys.